Hello everyone. So today we will start the next topic from the next module, that is feedback amplifiers and oscillators. So this topic is a part of your fourth module in the syllabus. So in the fourth module, this is the syllabus of the fourth module. We actually have BJT applications, feedback amplifiers and oscillators altogether in the fourth module. So in this BJT applications, we are going to study BJT as an amplifier and BJT as a switch. So those are the two important applications of BJTs. So we will keep this topic later. So first we will look at feedback amplifiers. So in this, we are going to study principle of feedback amplifiers, the properties and advantages of negative feedback amplifiers, the types of feedback, then voltage series feedback, gain stability and feedback. That's related to the feedback amplifiers. Then coming to the oscillators, we have Barkhausen's criteria for oscillation, then different types of oscillators, that is RC phase shift oscillator and Wien bridge oscillator. Apart from this, we are also going to study IC 555 timer and one application of IC 555 timer as an astable oscillator. Okay, so now we will begin with feedback amplifiers part. So what do you mean by feedback in general? So feedback in the sense from the output, if you're connecting back to the input in some form, that is called a feedback. The output is fed back to the input. That is called a feedback. So this feedback amplifiers, the purpose of an amplifier, in any amplifier, the purpose of an amplifier is to amplify the input signal without changing its characteristics except its amplitude, right? Amplifier will increase the amplitude of the input signal without changing the actual signal, right? Other properties of the signal remain as it is. So if you have a sound amplifier, the sound characteristics will remain as it is. Its frequency will remain as it is. Pitch will remain as it is. Only the amplitude will increase, right? So that is the intention of an amplifier. Similarly, if it is a voltage you're amplifying, all other characteristics except the amplitude, they remain the same. Only the amplitude gets increased, right? The amplifier that works on the principle of feedback is called a feedback amplifier. What do you mean by feedback? Feedback means it's a process where a fraction of the output, maybe a voltage or a current, is fed back to the input. That means a part of the output is fed back to the input. That is called feedback. So in an amplifier, if the output of the amplifier is fed back to the input, that is called a feedback amplifier. So we will look at the block diagram of a feedback amplifier. So this triangle, it represents an amplifier with the gain A. A stands for the gain. So this is an amplifier. The input to this amplifier is Vi. Okay. The output is V naught. So from the output, if you connect it back to the input, okay, this becomes a feedback amplifier. So without this part, it was just an amplifier. So with this feedback, it will become a feedback amplifier. So what you get is this A is the gain of this amplifier without feedback, right? A is the gain of the amplifier. If you just look at this block, A is the gain of this particular amplifier. Okay, A is the gain of this particular amplifier. Then if you have connected from the output to the input, so when you connect from the output to the input, there is some other factor. So this factor is called beta. That beta is called the feedback factor. Okay, so this beta is the feedback factor. From the output, you have connected back to the input. So there is a mixer. So now this input is not directly connected to your amplifier, but this input signal Vin is mixed with the part of the output. Okay, so the input signal Vin and some part of the output, that is called Vf, that is the feedback voltage. So Vin is the input voltage, Vf is the feedback voltage. So Vin and Vf, they are mixed together, and that is given at the input of the amplifier. So here you can see there is this symbol plus or minus. So why plus or minus means this feedback voltage can be either added to the input voltage to make it V in plus Vf, or it can be subtracted from the input voltage to make it V in minus Vf. And that depends on the type of the feedback network. Okay, so understand this, just remember. So the input voltage is mixed with some part of the output voltage, that is called the feedback voltage, and then it is given to the input of the amplifier. So the amplifier input is Vi now, right? And the input to this complete circuit is Vin, and the part of the output is V naught. The part of the output that is fed back to the input is Vf. That is the feedback voltage. Okay, and this beta is the feedback factor. Now, what is this A? Gain A. Gain is output voltage divided by input voltage. So to this particular amplifier, without feedback, right? Here you are not considering feedback, but overall you are considering feedback. Here the gain is output voltage divided by input voltage. What is the output to this? It is V naught, right? What is the input to this? It is Vi. So that's why the gain A is V naught divided by Vi. Then what is this beta? Beta is, again, you have to consider its output divided by input. To this block beta, the input is V naught, right? Input is V naught, input is V naught, it is coming into the beta. What is going out of beta is Vf. So beta is Vf divided by V naught, right? Vf divided by V naught, right? So this gain A is V naught divided by Vi, and beta is Vf divided by V naught. Okay, so we will look at these equations later again. So now here you just understand that here the part of output is connected to the input in the form of a feedback voltage. So why do we go for this? So there are many advantages and many applications where you use these feedback networks in your amplifiers and oscillator circuits. Okay, so here, yeah, the input signal Vin is applied to a mixer network in which it is combined with the feedback signal Vf, right? So here mixer, it mixes these two signals Vin and Vf. The difference of these signals Vi is the input to the amplifier. The, if it is minus, we say it is difference, or if it is plus, it can be the sum of Vin and Vf. That is Vi, that is fed to the amplifier. A portion of the amplifier output is connected to the input through a feedback network. So where do you get this from is a portion of this is connected to the input in the form of the feedback network. So the feedback networks or the feedback amplifiers, they can be classified into two types based on whether you're adding that feedback or subtracting that feedback. Okay, here you have seen this plus or minus symbol. It can be plus sometimes or it can be minus some other times. So if it is plus, that means if the feedback voltage is getting added to the input signal, then it is called a positive feedback. Okay, hope it's clear. If the feedback voltage gets added to the input voltage, it is called positive feedback. If the feedback voltage is subtracted from the input voltage, that is called negative feedback. Okay, so coming to the positive feedback, if the input signal and the feedback signal are in same phase, the signal gets added up and the resultant output increases, right? So that happens in this case when there is a plus here, then they get added up. That means they will be in the same phase. They will be in the same phase, then they get added up and the resultant output will increase. So this is called positive feedback. Okay, so this is the diagram, the same diagram as you have seen here. Okay, instead of plus or minus, we'll just show plus here, because in a positive feedback, the feedback voltage gets added to the input voltage. So if this is a sinusoidal voltage and this is another sinusoidal voltage, both of them will be in the same phase. Okay, and they get added up and they get amplified, right? So this is a positive feedback wherein the gain will increase. In a positive feedback, the gain of the amplifier will increase because both of these signals, they get added up. So this is also known as regenerative or direct feedback. Positive feedback circuit is also known as regenerative or direct feedback. But this causes distortion and instability in amplifiers. So although it increases the gain, we do not use it for amplifier circuits because this causes too many distortions and instability in amplifiers. In amplifiers, we are supposed to get a stable gain. So there shouldn't be any change in the gain of the output, even though there is a change in some input signal. So that is what we expect in a perfect amplifier. The gain has to be stable. Whereas this positive feedback circuit, it causes distortions and instability. That's why it is not suitable for amplifiers, right? But we will use it for some other circuits. We will see that later. And those are called oscillator circuits. Okay, feedback increases the gain. Positive feedback increases the gain and the overall power of the input signal, and hence they are suitable for oscillator applications. Okay, so what are these oscillators and all? We will see in the next topics. So this is one type of feedback wherein the both the input signal and the feedback signal, they're in the same phase and they get added up, thereby providing a very high gain. Next kind of feedback is a negative feedback. In the negative feedback, the input signal and the feedback signal are in opposite phase. Okay, hence the resultant input signal is the difference of the input and the feedback signals. So this is called negative feedback. Here instead of plus, if there is a minus, the resultant Vi input signal is difference of V in minus Vf. So here, if this is in one phase, this will be in opposite phase, right? This will be in opposite phase. So they get subtracted in the sense there will be a lesser voltage. That's why the gain also decreases. Even though the gain decreases in this case, so it becomes a stable gain. We get a stable gain. That's why these negative feedback circuits are preferred in amplifier circuits. Okay. So this negative feedback, it is also known as degenerative or inverse feedback. Positive feedback was regenerative. Negative feedback is called degenerative. And there it was direct feedback. Here it is inverse feedback. So this induces desirable modifications in circuit performance. So we'll see what are those advantages and properties of negative feedback. So even though it reduces the overall gain, it has numerous advantages and it is widely used in amplifier circuits. So in amplifier circuits, whatever the feedback networks we see, they're all negative feedback. That means there is a phase difference of 180 degrees between the input signal and the feedback signal. Okay, so we will see what are those properties of negative feedback. The properties of negative feedback and advantages of negative feedback, these are all the things that can be asked in the exam from this particular topic. Properties are that it desensitizes the gain. That means the gain will become stable. It brings stability to the amplifier by making gain less sensitive to all kind of variations. So if at all there are some variations in voltages or currents, the gain will not be so much sensitive. The change in the gain will be relatively lesser as compared to an amplifier without any feedback. Okay, that's why desensitize the gain. Other one is reduce non-linear distortion. So the negative feedback, it makes the output proportional to the input, so it becomes linear. The output will be proportional to the input. That's why the non-linear distortions will be reduced. So we prefer linear circuits always because their operation is predictable. If it is non-linear, we cannot predict certain things. That's why this is helpful in reducing those non-linear distortions. Other one is reduce the effect of noise. So it minimizes the contribution of unwanted electric signals. This noise may be generated by circuit components or by some extraneous interference. So this will reduce that effect of noise. Other property is it controls the input and output impedances. So we want our input impedance to be very high, output impedance to be very low, right? Ideally, input impedance is infinite, output impedance is zero. Practically, we try to achieve very high input impedance and very low output impedance. So using negative feedback, we can control the input and output impedances, and we can increase the input impedance and decrease the output impedance. So by choosing certain appropriate feedback topologies. So we will see how it can be done. Other property is it extends the bandwidth of the amplifier. So even this we will see with the illustration, how the bandwidth gets increased by incorporating negative feedback. Bandwidth can be increased. So these are the properties, the 5 properties: desensitize the gain, reduce nonlinear distortion, reduce the effect of noise, control the input and output impedances, and extend the bandwidth of the amplifier. So the same thing, sometimes, they are expressed as advantages, or in other terms, the advantages of negative feedback. They are gain stability. As I have been saying, the gain becomes stable in spite of the change in the gain without the amplifier, without feedback network. If that gain changes, that has very little effect on the gain with the feedback. Then extension of bandwidth, the bandwidth gets extended, very less distortions, decreased output resistance, and also increased input resistance. Input impedance increases, output impedance decreases. A stable operating point, in amplifiers, the operating point has to be stable. The operating point is also known as your quiescent point. That similar thing we have seen in the diode operation. We have the same thing in amplifiers. That is a quiescent point, or the operating point, that has to be stable for the stable output, or for the stable gain, in fact. Then it reduces noise and other interference in the amplifier. So these are the advantages of negative feedback. Okay. So then you have types of feedback. So that positive feedback and negative feedback, that is one way of saying different types of feedback based on how the feedback is connected to the input, right? So other than that, there are 4 types of feedback networks based on what parameter is connected back, either it is voltage or current, and how it is connected, whether it is in series or shunt. Okay, so there are 2 things. One is whether it is voltage or current, and other one is whether it is series or shunt. Okay, so based on this, there are 4 types. Okay, 2 raised to 2, 4. So it can be voltage series or voltage shunt, current series, and current shunt. Okay, so we will look at those circuits one by one. So what you can see here, this is a voltage series feedback network. So what you can observe, at the input there is Vs. Okay, Vs stands for supply voltage, okay, or the source voltage, and this is an amplifier. At the top, whatever you see, it is an amplifier, and at the bottom, what you can see, this is the feedback network. Amplifier has a gain of A. Okay, what you see here, we will look at that later. Now just remember, there is A here, that is the gain, and here there is beta, that is the feedback factor. The input to the amplifier without feedback, here direct input to the amplifier is Vi. So this is considered as Vi, and the output is V0. Output is V0. That V0 is measured across the load resistance RL. Okay. So now how do you consider the voltage? Voltage is across the terminals, right? Across the 2 terminals. So this is one end and this is the other end. So across this, if you connect, that is the voltage, right? That's why this is voltage series feedback. And okay, voltage part, that explains the voltage part. You're connecting in parallel. From this parallel, you're taking it to the input to the feedback network, right? And the output of this, you are connecting in between the input, right? You are connecting in series with the input. Is it right? So you're not connecting across here. If you had connected across, that would become parallel or shunt, but you are connected in series with the input. That's why it becomes voltage series feedback. Okay, so this is a voltage series feedback. The input is supply voltage Vs. To the amplifier, the input is V1, sorry, Vi. The output is V0. The output input to this feedback network is this V0. The output of the feedback network is Vf. So what you get here is Vs minus Vf. Okay, Vs minus V. So that is given as Vi to this amplifier, to this amplifier. So the amplifier gain, now you can understand the amplifier gain is output voltage divided by its input. The output voltage is V0. That's why there is V0 here. And the input voltage is Vi. So there is Vi. Right? So A is V0 divided by Vi. And for the feedback, the input is V0. The input is given here, that is V0. The input is V0. The output is Vf. Okay, input is V0, the output is Vf. So You know, the factor, feedback factor, or the gain of this feedback factor is output divided by input. Here the output is Vf, input is V naught, so beta is Vf divided by V naught. Now, can you tell me what is the gain of this amplifier with feedback? Gain of the amplifier with feedback is, you should consider the total output divided by this input. Here the output is V naught and input is Vs. So the gain with feedback will be V naught divided by Vs. So that is for the first one, that is voltage series feedback. Next we have voltage shunt feedback. In voltage shunt feedback, again you are connecting voltage. Okay, you are connecting voltage, that means in parallel you are taking, but you are not connecting in series like this, but you are connecting in shunt, you are connecting in parallel. So one end you connect here, other end you connect to the other terminal. So in this case, the source is current connected, seen as a current source, is the supply is the current source, the source current is is, okay, and the input to this is ii. So the gain is treated as output by input. Output is V naught, input is ii. Okay, output is V naught, that output voltage, and input is the current, that is ii. Similarly, the for the feedback network, the input is V naught from voltage you are taking in, and you are giving out the IF in this direction, right? IF beta is IF into V naught, so IF is beta into V naught. So this is IF, right? Here you get V naught, and here you are connecting IF. That's why output divided by input, that is IF divided by V naught. This is called voltage shunt. Here you are connecting voltage at the output, and you are connecting at shunt, connecting shunt in shunt with the input, that is in parallel with the input. That's why it is voltage shunt. So next is current series and current shunt. In current series and current shunt, what you can observe is at the output, instead of connecting like this as the voltage, we are connecting in series. We are connecting in series. That means one end, you know, it is connected here, other end here itself, it is connected here. So the output factor that you're taking into the feedback network is the current or the voltage, right? So this current is I naught, output current is I naught, the input to the amplifier is Vi, that's why output divided by input here is output current I naught divided by input voltage Vs. Okay, output current I naught divided by input voltage, sorry, Vi for the amplifier. I naught divided by Vi, that is the gain. For the feedback network, the input is I naught, output is Vf. Okay, so we have connected in series here. It is connected in series at the output as well as in series in the input. So it is a series part. So that's why it is a voltage, right? It is considered as a voltage Vf. Okay, it's a voltage source. It is voltage Vf. Uh, that is beta is Vf divided by I naught. And the last one is current shunt. Here you treat it as a current source again. So the current input to the amplifier is II. Here it is Is. Here it is II. So the output is also current because you have taken it in series, right? You have taken it in series. So it is I naught. So gain is output divided by input. Output is I naught. Input is II. So I naught divided by II. Now coming to the feedback part, here the input is I naught, output is IF. So feedback is output divided by input, that is IF divided by I naught. Okay. So these are different types of feedback. You can be asked in the exam to explain the different types of feedback. You need to mention these circuits and mention the equations for A and beta and also AF. So what will be AF is the gain with feedback. Okay. So here I have mentioned all the gains without feedback. A is what you can see here, gain without feedback. For the first part, that is voltage series, A is V naught by Vi, beta is Vf by V naught, V naught by Vi, beta is Vf by V naught, and AF is this output voltage divided by this input, that is V naught divided by Vs. Okay, so V naught divided by Vs. For the voltage shunt, A is V naught by II, V naught by II, beta is IF by V naught, beta is IF by V naught, whereas AF is the gain with feedback is output divided by input. Here output is V naught, input is IS. That's why it is V naught by IS. Okay, so V naught by IS. Similarly, in current series, A is I naught by VI, I naught by VI. Beta is VF by I naught, VF by I naught, and AF is I naught divided by VS. So I naught divided by VS. In current shunt, A is I naught by II, I naught by II. Sorry, beta is IF by I naught, IF by I naught, and AF is I naught divided by IS, I naught divided by IS. So these are the different types of feedback and the equations for gain without feedback A, the feedback factor beta, and the gain with feedback AF. Okay. So what we observe is the series feedback, they increase the input resistance, whereas the shunt feedback or the parallel feedback, they decrease the input resistance. Okay, the voltage feedback tends to increase the output, decrease the output impedance, whereas the current feedback, they increase the output impedance. We know for our amplifiers, what we prefer is our input impedance have to be high. So we need to we need to increase the input impedance. We need to increase the input impedance, and we have to decrease the output impedance. We have to increase the input impedance and we have to decrease the output impedance. So typically higher input and lower output impedances are desired for most of the cascade amplifiers. That means whenever we are connecting amplifiers in series, we need to have higher input impedances and lower output impedances. That's why to increase the impedance, input impedance, we will use series feedback, and to decrease the output impedance, we will use voltage feedback. That's why the voltage series feedback, that is this particular part, voltage series feedback, is best suited for most of our feedback amplifier circuits. Okay, so in the next class, we will see more details on this particular category of feedback, that is voltage series feedback, which increases the input resistance and decreases the output resistance, right? So we will see that in the next class.